Hey everyone, today I want to share a message that I hope inspires people and motivates people and give people hope. The hope that even though you may face failures in your life, there's always light at the end of the tunnel and you're able to overcome those struggles, those failures in your life, to still achieve your goals and be successful. So my story is, I am a licensed pharmacist in 2 states. Now, to get licensed in one state, you need to pass their law exam, right? So each state has their own law exam. However, in all of the states combined is another exam called the NAPLEX, which is pretty much the therapeutic exam. Talks, asking about medications and compounding, all this pharmacy-related information. And that is an exam you take, and it's accepted by all the states. And you take that, you pass that, and then you take the actual law exam for that state you want to practice in. And when you pass that, together with your application and nice big fat, check, to the Board of Pharmacy, you're licensed. Now you can start applying and start working and doing what you want to do. Now, people always have this misconception of you're a pharmacy school, or you're a medical school, or you're a vet school, whatever school, or engineering school, or you're so successful. You're like super smart. Like, you guys don't fail. Like, you guys are like perfect in society, and everything is just so easy for you guys. You guys are so smart. Like, it's, you guys barely need to study. Like, you're just, 4.0 students, right? It's how you got to that, part of your life, right? No. And that's where my story begins, is that after pharmacy school, when I graduated, I started a postgraduate program at a hospital, which you actually had to apply to. Interview, the whole process, and being accepted. And actually, there's a match system, which a lot of medical students understand this. They have the same thing for pharmacy, where you put in, you rank your hospitals or community pharmacies you want to work at, and you get matched if they also matched you that same rank. Anyways, so we got matched. So you get hired into that residency, and ideally they want you to be licensed before that, but you have, I believe it was like 90 days or so, or 60 days from the time you start. I think it's 90 days from the time you start your residency to get licensed, or you get kicked out. Because to officially complete your training, you need to be a licensed pharmacist, actually do things, and talk to patients and verify medications, and be a licensed pharmacist and do what you have been trained to do. And so time between pharmacy school and my residency, I studied. I started residency, and then I don't recall which day of my, after my first day, or a month after or so, I took my NAPLEX. And it's always recommended that you take your NAPLEX, because it's the bigger exam, and then after a week or two you take the law exam, just because a lot of the therapies obviously overlap. They just incorporate those law questions in there to see if you can actually apply those based on federal and state law. So I took them, I think I took them on the weekend, or I took a day off from my residency and I went and took them. Came back, took the NAPLEX, came back, went back through my residency a week or two while I was still studying, for the law exam. Took the law exam, came back, and then hardest part is waiting. So if you guys ever experienced that, you know how stressful that is waiting for your results to come back, especially if you felt like you failed, or like it didn't go your way, kind of thing. But a lot of people feel that way, and they end up passing, right? So I'm like, it's fine, like, we'll see what happens, right? So I kind of just went through, and I'm the type of person who checked every day, especially when people start to post that they passed, and it's like, freaks me out. It's like, well, did I pass too? And I kept checking. No results yet, no results. And then finally one day while I was at the hospital, doing my thing, my daily duties, I checked on my break and I found out that I actually failed the NAPLEX board exam, which was really, really, like, I can't even explain the words that I felt like my life was like practically over. And that's how it kind of feels, after a board exam. Like, this is, if you really think about it, these two exams are literally between me and being a licensed pharmacist and making a living for myself. I studied for 20 plus years for this moment to actually fulfill and achieve my goal of being a pharmacist. And I failed that exam. And so I remember going and telling, people who were with me and stuff, and they said, it's okay, like, don't worry, you can retake and stuff. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, how about the other exam? I'm like, oh, I haven't gotten that yet. A few hours later, I checked, and the results of the other exam came in for the state law one and the federal law one. I failed that one too. So I failed both exams, and that was the most humbling moment in my life. Didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do, didn't even know what to feel. I was just very quiet. I went and told a few people. A few people thought I was joking. I told them, no, I'm not. It's not something to joke about. And they said, it's fine. I mean, just sign up for the next time you can and retake it. I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, I have to. Like, this is my career. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. And yeah, I remember calling my parents, and they were very supportive, but I also felt, from their voice that they were also upset, not for themselves, but they're upset, for me, because I know, like, how much I was studying for this exam, and just freaking out, and like I felt like I did everything right, stayed up, like went through all the practice questions and exams, everything, literally went through everything, right? And yeah, it was a very humbling moment. I really, for the first time I think in my life, hit rock bottom when it came to like education and just mental and physical stress. And I can't even think of words right now how it felt like, but this is why I'm recording this. It's not I have nothing really, like, no notes. I'm just just raw video of explaining to you that it's okay if you fail an exam, 2-3 exams that will literally determine your professional career, or that whatever that exam is, right? It's okay. I'm telling you this 4 or 5 years later, the story of exposing myself, because I can tell you now successfully that I have completed the residency. I passed my board exams after that, when I retook them, and have an amazing job right now as a clinical inpatient pharmacist. And I'm trying to say is there's always hope. But what got me thinking, and what got me to this point of exposing myself and sharing this story on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, was that so many people post, oh my gosh, the exam was so hard, like, oh, felt like horrible, but it's fine, guys, it's okay, I passed. Which, like, I'm like, okay, that doesn't help anyone. Like, we all feel the same way after an exam. We all do. I never met anyone who walks out of that Netflix be like, aced it. No, doesn't work like that. I feel like the exam is designed to like think you failed, right? And so a lot of people post that, and a lot of these pharmacies Facebook groups that I like joined, they all do that. Very, very few people write their story or a huge post, and at the very end they say they failed. People don't want to share that. People feel people are going to look at them differently and be like, wow, like, you're going to be a pharmacist like me, but you failed? Like, are you not smart enough? Like, what are you doing with your life? And so this is me. I'm trying to come out and guide people and motivate people to keep going regardless of their past. If you failed, no worries. Not every pharmacist you meet was the number one in their class. Okay? You also need to understand that eventually you will be successful. It's going to take time. Every single person has their own timeline in their life to be successful. There is no rule book. There is no book designed, a blueprint that says, if you do not pass your exam the first time, you're a failure. If you do not go to graduate school right after undergrad, or if you do not go to a university or a Cal State right after high school, you're a failure. No, absolutely not. People who have reached out to me and asked me their recommendations of taking a year off, they haven't decided what they want to do with their life, and they straight up tell me that they're scared what people will think about them. I told them, why does that matter? It's your life. You are the only person responsible for your life. Who cares what other people think? But people still do. People think about their image. And maybe I did too. Maybe that's why I haven't really told anyone, in the past 4 years of what really happened in terms of my career and how I got to where I am now. Like, it wasn't, again, as I mentioned before, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. So I'm here sending you this message saying that it's possible. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to step back, reset your mindset, get yourself motivated again to go back to studying, because I know it's going back. After, like, that day after my shift, I went home. They told me to go home early. I said, no, it's fine, I'll finish my shift. And like, I remember after I took it the first time, I got all my notes and like all the books and stuff. I'm like, yeah, put it in the corner, right? Like, I don't want that anymore. Give it to someone next to you or whatever who needs my notes and stuff. And I just remember coming home and looking at that huge stack of notes in those books, and I'm like, I have to go through that again. And maybe go about it a different way. But let me tell you this. One advice I want you to get out of this, other than stay motivated. You got this. Don't worry about what other people think. Help those who need your help. Right? This is why I'm making this video. I'm exposing myself so I can send a message. If I can help one person from this video, I'm good. That's all I really wanted, okay? When you lose hope, you think about the worst case scenarios, don't worry, I've been there. Twice. Actually, a little bonus, I failed 3 board exams. I also failed another state's law exam, and I had to retake it. So I officially have taken 6 board exams, right? And I still passed it later on once I retook it. It's all in your mindset. Why am I saying this? It's your mindset. I use the same materials second time around. Same book, same notes. But it was all in my mindset of how I approached the exams. Might talk about this later on in a different video if, I don't know, me coming on a video right now is kind of weird for me personally, my first time. So, yeah, judge me later, I guess. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that two things. It's your mindset, getting back into it, and it's hard. I mean, it's difficult. It's not easy. So always find help and guidance, and I'm more than welcome if you reach out to me. Definitely help when I can, or if I can, and it's okay. At the end of the day, you will be successful. Just don't give up, okay? Not all pharmacists or engineers or technicians or literally any other profession in this world, not everyone in that profession is flawless. Huge misconception, especially in the pharmacy community. I feel like people are naturally just smart and ambitious, and they just want to do so much, so they're so smart, like, oh my gosh, like, it's very intimidating, unfortunately. But you're not alone. Reach out, and I'm sure a lot of pharmacists out there have experienced this. They just never wanted to share. Maybe they felt embarrassed. But holding this story back in my experience is not benefiting me, and I need it to benefit, and I want it to benefit people out there. So again, this is a super raw, unedited video that I'm posting for the first time, and hopefully we'll see how I feel about kind of just going more in depth and how I felt and how I overcame those difficulties, and getting from rock bottom to where I am now. Well, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.